can't forget any of the pieces. As Reverend Laura mentioned, it is an honor and a privilege to stand up here and speak with you all today. And I hope that something in this video and what you hear today will resonate with you, as it does with me. I want to start out by asking, how many of you have asked yourself at one point in your life, what am I here for? Yes. How many of you have asked yourself that question already today? Right. I can remember being 6 or 7 years old, and I thought the greatest accomplishment I could make in my life was to be a waitress. Not a fancy steakhouse waitress, but a Mel's Diner, sassy kind of waitress, and if you're my age, you know who I'm talking about. I used to pretend by going around family functions and writing in a little notebook, writing the best I could, because I couldn't spell all those words yet, taking orders and pretending to cook them and serving people and leaving them a little check when they were done. And there was nothing that could have been better than being a waitress. I did try that at one point in my life. That is not a life for me. But I also thought being a teacher would be something fun. Working with children and teaching people things, and I used to set up a classroom at my house and teach my sister everything that I learned at school that week. That's why she's so brilliant, I think. I take credit for that. But that's one of the greatest gifts about being a child, is that field of infinite possibility that is before us all the time. We are playing in it, and it is easy to believe that anything is possible because we knew that the truth was anything is. So what happened to those dreams? What happened as we grew up and we grew older? Often we are saddled with labels, and those labels can define our experiences. Some are good, some not so much. Some we give ourselves, and others come from people we know or strangers on the street. There are the usual surface level labels that everybody can speak proudly of, such as husband or wife, son, daughter, employee, trailblazer. Or some of the worst labels: liar, incompetent, distrustful. Those types of labels stick with us. The best labels we can hear from others about ourselves are that we're fun, loving, honest, prosperous, open-minded, beautiful, confident, or smart. But those bad ones, the worst, bossy, ugly, arrogant, cruel, those are the ones that are the hardest to release. When we pick up negative labels, we become bogged down with self-guilt and doubt, questions like, am I worthy of this? And the hard-to-release idea of imposter syndrome. And if you're unfamiliar with that one it is when something wonderful happens to you and you ask, wait, I'm not worthy of this. Am I good enough for this? It turns out that we can be our own worst enemy in situations like that. If you were here last week, you may remember the meditation that Reverend Laura did when she asked us about our 6 words. And I mentioned I would share my 6 words with you today. And they were growing through anxiety into peaceful experiences. Now, I'm not scared or apprehensive about many things. Speaking to a crowd can be a challenge, but I've always wanted to be really good at it. When asked, I usually search the corners of my mind for excuses and reasons to say no, but I do it anyway. It's something I have worked on for many years. If you ask me to stand in a boardroom and talk about the impact of the economy on print marketing and the industry and the impact that it may have on our 2024 AOP revenue projections, I can do that. I don't even need notes. But when you ask me to stand up in front of a group of people and talk about things that are so dear to me, I feel nervous. I tell myself I don't think I'm very good at it, but I want to be. And I think that's the first step in changing something, that may not always feel like it's working for me. And certainly, I could just say no every time I'm asked, but I've decided to keep honoring that my 5-year-old self, the enthusiastic one who thought that they could do anything, because deep down at that age, I knew I could do anything. So sometimes it's quite overwhelming when we're facing obstacles and working to overcome fear or doubt, and things can be quite paralyzing, even when they're going our way. And life can pile on problems, confusion, conflict, and more. And our self-talk can turn ugly and dark. So whatever happened to that me thinking anything was possible, that I could do whatever I set my mind to? Sometimes I can't find the answers to the questions that I'm asking. And if we have gotten to a place where we've forgotten the truths that we're born with, how do we remember them again? Well, for me, some of you may have heard this before, studying science is a spiritual practice. I love learning. I love thinking about this. And one of my favorites, Carl Sagan, we are made of star stuff. And when I'm wondering about my place in the universe and how I got here and where I'm going and what I'm supposed to be doing, I like to go back to the beginning. The where do we come from? In my many years of study, I've come to realize that one of my favorite topics is the blending of science and spirituality. I can make quick sense of things if I apply some scientific order. I remember that the atoms in my body are the same atoms as the stars. I remember that all of the energy that I am moves through time and space forever and ever, long after my physical body is gone. To help me remember, I think about things like the idea that the iron that is in my blood that turns it red when it meets with oxygen is the same iron that was strewn across the universe during the Big Bang over 13 billion years ago. And closer to now, I think about camping in the mountains of Idaho and the millions and millions and millions of stars that brighten the night sky. A pool of infinite points of light right there, you can almost touch them. They remind me that I am not in the universe. I am of the world, and so are each one of you. I look at images like this, and like this, and this one, and this one. Wait, these two are not pictures of stars. Photographer and artist Gabriela Reyes Fuchs began to think about life, death, and consciousness after her father made his transition. She took her father's ashes to UNAM, a public research university in Mexico, where she used a bright field microscope to examine the ashes. Expecting nothing other than black and white images of powder with specks, she and the scientists that were assisting her were amazed to discover multicolored nebula that appear to glow from within, with an unexplained inner light. This is an example of how we are connected. At the smallest, most microscopic level, we are connected as one. We are all the same. We are creation. That we are not separate from it. It is proof to me that there is beauty in everything. A small pile of ashes. What's left of someone's human presence here on earth can be this, on its own, magnificent. And lastly, I think of how every experience has a purpose, that there are no accidents. And aren't we lucky that we come together at this place, at this time, in this building right now, to witness the beauty of creation, to witness the sacred presence of each person that we encounter. I think about all of these things, and that's what I bring into my spiritual practice. Because every question has an answer. And when I need to examine it a little more closely, it's time for meditation. So I would like to invite you to join me for a guided meditation that I've been working on called Hall of Mirrors. Let's remember together. This is a journey through the stages of life, beginning and ending with the essence of who you are. Take a moment to close your eyes if you're comfortable, settling into your seat, paying attention to the breath. Relaxing with each exhale. This is a space of comfort and love and peace. Imagine yourself standing at the entrance of a grand hall, the Hall of Mirrors. And as you step inside, the first mirror appears before you. Expecting your reflection, looking back at you is the cosmos. This is where you began. Think about the big idea that this is what you are made of. You originate from the universe itself. Ask yourself, what do I need to know right now? Affirm for yourself, I am one with Source. I am infinite possibility. As you move to the second mirror, you see your childhood self, maybe 5 or 6 years old. Observe the innocence, curiosity, and boundless energy in your reflection. Think about any negative beliefs or labels that you may have experienced then. Perhaps they were placed upon you by someone else. Offer forgiveness and release for anything you no longer wish to carry. say to yourself, I am worthy. I am powerful. The next mirror reveals your middle school years. See the growth, the struggles, and the discoveries of one of the most transformative periods of your life. What do you think of your middle school self? Look into your young eyes with gratitude and embrace the strength and awareness that you developed. Honor the experience of that time. Affirm to yourself, I am resilient. I am still growing. Moving to the fourth mirror, you see your young adult self. Reflect on the ambitions, dreams, and challenges. Are there any fears or feelings of inadequacy that may linger now? Remember your accomplishments. We grow so fast. With great thanks for your achievements and the lessons you learned, tell yourself, I am capable. I am successful. The fifth mirror in our hall of mirrors shows us as we currently are. This is your adulthood. Looking at the person you have become, think about your greatest triumph. All of the love that you have accumulated over all the years. The challenges you've grown through. The divine being that you are in this moment. Looking into your own eyes, affirm, I am whole. I am enough. Finally, our sixth mirror, which once again reflects a field of stars. At some point, we will merge once again with the cosmos, part of the infinite universe, just in a different shape. There is nothing but love here. Feel the sense of release from all negativities, for you are the divine light. Embrace the wholeness and tranquility that comes from recognizing your oneness with this universe. Affirm together and repeat after me, I am part of the cosmos. I am one with it. I am love. I invite you to take a deep breath in. Bringing your awareness back to the room, to your surroundings, to the beings of light here with you today. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes. I think it's important to think of happiness and fulfillment not as fixed destinations, but as part of the process of living the experience of true oneness. While we may sometimes lose sight of happiness, it is in our potential to rediscover and claim it. We do that when we make a decision. One of my favorite quotes attributed to Confucius, "We have two lives, and the second one begins when we realize we only have one." That's where we are at any time we choose to make a decision. Are we staying in the first life? Or are we emerging and realizing that with that one life, we can do so much more? You hold all the power. The journey of life is a divine, ongoing evolution. I'm going to borrow a phrase from Justin. He said last week during a conversation, sometimes we are in the human scene. As humans, we're made to survive. We are animals. And in our humanness, we can get angry when we're threatened. We'll do anything to protect our families. We work hard, sometimes to our own detriment. We feel the drive to succeed and compete. We can lie if we choose, and we can purposefully hurt one another in the most unimaginable ways. But we are also made to love, to nurture, to rest, and care for one another. We survive trauma and pain so that we can help others heal. We are living, breathing testaments to human resilience. If we choose to recognize that power and presence of spirit that is within each of us, we then become unstoppable forces of the greatest love that can ever be realized. Think about your childhood dreams. What did you want to be when you were 5 or 6 years old? What I've come to learn over the years through a lot of contemplation is this. I wanted to be a waitress because I wanted to take care of people. I do that every day in my life. But instead of tips, I get thank yous and hugs. I wanted to be a teacher, and I'm standing here right now showing you what magnificent beings you are. I am doing what the 5-year-old me knew deep down was a beautiful emerging path for my life. I am doing things that bring me joy and peace. What was I made for? What were we made for? We were made to do all the things. Wear the dress, go on the trip, drink the champagne, write the book, speak your word. Go create something beautiful. Love out loud and walk with courage. You were made to learn. You are the universe, learning about itself. Thank you. Thank you. Whew. Prayer time. Thank you all very much. Thank you. Whew. Let's go into a moment of prayer. I'm probably going to start just a little silent, just to ground for a moment. In this sacred moment, I recognize the infinite divine spirit, the source of all creation. This boundless energy is the essence of love, wisdom, and unity. This presence permeates all of creation. I know that it is the foundation of all life. There is only a recognition of the divine. I affirm that I am one with this divine spirit, that it dwells within me as me, that the influence of all that I know and the rightness of the universe shines through in all that I do because I am one with it. And in this oneness with the divine, I realize and accept the profound truth of my being. I am a vessel of divine love and embodiment of pure spirit. I open my heart and mind to fully accept this, to walk the path of divine truth. With deep gratitude, I give thanks for this realization of divine love and oneness. I am profoundly thankful for the presence of Spirit in my life, guiding and nurturing. I am infinite wisdom and compassion, and I am grateful for the unfolding of every experience of growth and peace. And I release this prayer into the universal law, trusting completely in the perfection of divine spirit. I let go, knowing that the truth is already manifesting in my life with grace and ease. I am confident that all is well and unfolding in divine perfection, and so it is.